Hey everybody, I am Jason Salazar. I created this lovely web series and I'm here with the star.
Hi, I'm Jeanette Penley. I play Catherine.
Who is the star?
I'm the star!
This is our very last episode of The Uploaders.
This is so sad. It was the last one.
And there you are. Yeah, you were the three remaining. Series finales suck, which I still stand by. Most series finales do.
I don't know. There's very few that ever went somewhat good.
So I figured I wanted everyone to know right off the bat that you would be disappointed. We're back at the library, the Milpitas Library, where we filmed the very first Uploaders.
Yes.
Years prior, so that was a little surreal.
Yes, the first one I just remember being like, here we are at a library and I'm screaming and yelling and swearing like crazy. I felt bad.
And now this one, you're like, oh, I'm here in a library and I'm screaming and yelling and swearing like crazy. That's okay.
I know, and then I'm like, whatever, I'm over it.
It wasn't Kids' Day, so we were all right. This was a hard shot because I wanted to do the whole first 4 pages was this scene between the 3, soon to be the 4 of you, and I wanted to do it just all in one, so we did it like 6 times, I think, and this was second to the last take, and then to reveal Lori here with Timmy's baby. Yes, Jacob is now Timmy full time, and I mean clearly that's a fake child.
Yeah,
but
we're not in a towel. It looks like
it's
not even a baby blanket, a towel.
It was, but that was a great hit.
I know that one worked out really well.
I think that's why we ended up doing the take multiple times too, because we couldn't get the punch right. And I'm like, if I have to chop it up, I will. But I'd really. Oh, and you almost break. You see this here.
Oh,
because David ad-libs a line.
He
right
did
here.
it every time. The motherfucker. He like would always, and I'm like, son of a bitch,
right here.
you
Here
asshole.
it is. You're like.
Like I'm fighting it right there. Woo, fighting it.
It's good.
I'm gonna look down. Nobody's gonna know. Okay, I'm fine. I'm back in it.
It was good. No, but
it was close.
You held on to it. It was good, but that did make it a little more difficult. So
he would. Yeah, that's right. He would change it every time.
He said something about like, oh, if we're gonna have a threesome, I'll be gentle, and then you're just like, what? So, but it worked out. And Melinda she never breaks, so she didn't care.
No, she's like stone. That girl. I swear.
I mean, yeah, because this was like at 9 or 10 in the morning. I remember you came down specifically just to film this little bit, and then you had to bolt. Because I remember you had something going on, so I was like, we'll get you out of here really fast. But I always feel bad making you come down for like a real quick shoot. But
we made it work.
We did. And it was a great opening. I love that it just plays straight out. So,
I know, that was all one shot?
All one shot, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was quite proud of that. I mean, it's not like it's an exciting shot, but it shows...
No, but we had so much during all these episodes. There were these little quick cutaways just because either lines didn't come or something. And
right.
So this is a long shot.
And you guys all had a lot to say. And you got through it. I mean, even with ad-libbing, it worked great. So here we are at Catherine's house, a.k.a. my house. This is like 2 weeks later or something. We had shot this stuff. But yes, we're coming up on... the newscast. This is a melding of some of my cinematic universes, if you will. The girl that's about to come on and be the newscaster, my friend Robin from college, played this character in my old Eddie Tingley private detective movies. So I just kind of wanted to have that mishmash of old characters, and that's just more kind of like a pat on the back to myself. So, because right now you're looking at nothing.
Yeah.
And there's Robin, yeah. I found this footage on YouTube that I thought, wow, that really looks like the library and like the walls and stuff. And it was an actual library on fire. And so I just kind of stole it and used it, and it worked great.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't really let me burn down the Milpitas Library.
Of course.
That's
so funny.
Yeah, it worked out.
It does, yeah.
And then the wall she was in front of, it looked like that building.
Yeah.
And it's just my garage. So, yes, I mean, her character had only been in one other episode, so she wasn't a full character. But I'm like, well, I'm just going to make use of the joke and say she was just a secondary thing. But still holding her fake baby. It was good stuff.
No, she was great.
Yeah, Lori's been in a few things I've done, and she's great. And then here's the camera footage of The only thing that's not on
They
fire
can't
is...
open a door.
Yes. Well, that's mentioned by Christian's character coming up about, like, you know, why couldn't these idiots open a door? He is also playing a character from my old Private Detective series. That's why it says character from another show. But there was originally going to be, later on, when we see how all of the characters were dying in this weird time travel flashbacky thing we have, there was meant to be a shot of Sharon showing that she actually had the door pinned or locked. And that's why they couldn't get out from the other side. And I never shot it. And so by the time I got around to editing it, I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to go back and fix this.
And it makes sense that they were stupid enough that
That's true.
it wasn't stretching it by any stretch.
Yeah, both those characters really probably wouldn't know how to function around a doorknob. So, yes, but
Completely believable, yeah.
Yes. And that was that. And then you're... I always love
My
your
2-year-old tantrums. No, I don't like it.
That's coming from a real place. Like, we're still making this show.
No, it's
No.
basing it on children.
And then this whole scene, both of you, again, had tons of dialogue. Sharon had the worst of it because she was Miss Exposition in this.
Yeah.
So much ridiculous backstory. And, who we have not seen the two of you together since episode 3, when you guys were roommates. So there's that, joke we got going on. And then also your call back to saying how, hey, Felicia Day sure became a big thing, huh?
Yeah.
Because at the time when we did episode 3, Felicia Day was kind of an internet presence, but by this point she was a huge internet presence. So it was just kind of fun that I could throw that in. And plus me and Felicia are friends, so I threw that in for her. So...
And then this was like this tiny plastic door. I mean, I remember it was so close to breaking at times.
Yeah, and the ridiculous noise and then our love effect. that we added, the name of that town or city in the Azores. Sharon told us what it was, and I'm like, just scream out the name of that, and I don't even remember what it was.
I don't even remember,
but you did, and it was just such a great. I thought it was a great ad lib. And again, lots of exposition, who is this character? Why has she been trying to kill you and all the other uploaders for this whole time? And when I finally sat down to write this last episode, I mean, it was really difficult because I knew it was the end, and as bad as this show was, I still didn't want to let it go. And I
didn't it also her coming up with me having a child kind of come from me being pregnant?
Yes, it did. Yes, because you became pregnant during the middle of season 2, and we wrote it in. But then at some point, your pregnancy just kind of got disregarded.
Yeah,
and then it was she's not pregnant anymore. And so I came up with the idea. Well, what if this whole pregnancy thing? Yeah, there was more to it. And there's a lot of editing in that montage there. And this is my friend Carissa's son, William, who we dressed in pink to pass off as Sharon as a baby, and that worked. And some lovely Photoshop by Drew Campbell, and then just some not so lovely Photoshop by me. But yeah, no, the pregnancy thing, I just was like, let's dive back into that. So I came up with this ridiculous notion that you had this child, put it up for adoption, and as it grew up and became older, it became Sharon, and she was so fucked up and wanted to kill all of you guys because she was a time traveler and had seen what assholes you were, and that also you put her up for adoption. And I was like, am I gonna really make this work? And
it's so funny how it that stemmed from me being pregnant for real life.
Yeah,
because it was let's just show the belly at one point, and at one episode I remember. Oh, this is so funny looking back at all these too. I really wanted to make this massive montage. Yeah, this is the last thing that I edited. I mean, it took me forever because I bet there's a lot.
It was a lot to cover with the narration of Morgan Freeman, which is being done by my friend Ross.
Oh my God, Drew! What?
Oh, he knows how he is.
No, I was saying blut for the turkey thing.
Oh, the turkey thing, yeah, everything. And another shameless plug for the YouTube channel. But yeah, I mean, Ross came in and did a fairly decent Morgan Freeman, I thought. And I laid it all out, and then I'm like, okay, what visual imagery am I going to set to a lot of this? And some of it was going to be filmed specifically for, and some was going to be old material. But I ended up using more old than new because I just didn't get around to making anything new. It took too much effort, and I wanted it.
That's so funny.
That was good. That was your lotion.
Lotion.
What looks like cum? I know.
I got lotion.
Yeah, it's so weird to look back on these.
I know, because it spans so much time too.
Right, it was 3.5 years. That's how much time you gave me. And
oh my God, all the faces.
I'm still amazed that I was able to make this work. I mean, like, it's not perfect, but boy, for the show, I was very proud of it. And I mean, and I guess, I don't know. I suppose you could have a child like Sharon. You could pop out someone who would end up being 8 feet tall.
Sure.
I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to it, but this, you know, and again, the show itself is dumb.
Yeah.
And I figured, I'm just going to go full force. I mean, these people live in this weird world where apparently everything they do is generally accepted. So yeah, let's throw a sci-fi element in.
Why not?
And I think it worked. I remember when
oh my God.
Yeah, that.
And I was there. I was pregnant in that episode.
That's
remember.
Right, you were with that great Fred wig that I still thought looked amazing on you. I was like,
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't believe I even got it over all my hair.
I know. Yeah, you crammed it in there. But this we filmed specifically for the flashback the same day we were doing the stuff in the house. This is where the pregnancy thing came about. Was, you know, that apparently one of these men is the father of your child, but we never specified which. And then like, oh yeah, I was like, yes,
I was. Yes.
So apparently, yes, your child is the love child of Stephen, Jacob, or Virgil, but that wasn't important. But yeah, I mean, I went out there, I'm like, this is where she sees you, obviously putting her up for adoption, and, you know, it worked, you know.
No,
I mean,
it was great. It was actually pretty poignant in some ways, too.
Poignancy on the uploaders.
I know.
You take that back.
I love this montage. This whole montage is so great.
For anyone,
it's a great way to end it, you know, like to have all these clips from the past. It's great.
You have to. If you're doing a series finale of a show, you have to go back to the well. And yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time.
I can't even imagine going through all the stuff to pull out clips like this.
It was tough. It was really hard to decide, but. And then also to make sense of, like, you know, like her, of her killing all of you. Like, technically, Sharon's character didn't kill all of you. She wanted you dead, but the goal was that she always had a hand in what ultimately became a lot of your guys' ends. And
yeah.
But, I had a much grander idea, but I felt that it was definitely, as you said, more poignant to have it be mother-daughter rounding us out. So. I still use this all the time. I say hashtag success daily. I'm sure that wasn't an original hashtag, but I just put it on a blog that I just filmed too, so I use it all the time. Yeah, because I would feel Catherine would not care after everything she just saw.
As long as we were famous, that was the biggest thing.
That was ultimately the goal for the show, is that, you know, that was the original idea, is that the last episode was going to be that you guys made a video that actually made you famous, and then you were all still going to be alive, and you all kind of gathered around, your view count was going up, your subscribers were huge, and then you all kind of looked at each other and went, what now? And then the show was going to be over, because it's kind of like, where do you go?
Yeah, after you get what you want.
Yeah, and so, but then I went the sci-fi route instead. Again, lots of talking.
I know, because so many of the other episodes had a lot of action, and this one
was just like, I gotta wrap it all up.
Yeah.
I always love the shot I got of her with the gun on you, like, and your hair being a little disheveled. You know, there's just sometimes when I get certain angles, I just think people look really good.
Yeah.
And I always just thought you know, that was just gets a good 8x10 glossy moment for you. So, and then again, to have this beanstalk of a woman towering over you, you know, it's like, you know, and I'm going to shoot you in the face.
I can continue to go back and Sound of Thunder.
Sound of Thunder, this shit. I don't know how many people would have ever gotten that joke. It's a time travel story by Ray Bradbury, and also a horrible movie. But I had to throw that in there for all the geeks. And then,
earthquake!
Earthquake.
Yes. Roll around on the floor.
Acting as if there's an earthquake. And then here was our big reveal that there's a laptop from the first episode, that apparently the uploaders and everything about them was all in the mind of a retarded person. I would like to say that I could take full credit for this idea.
Say, not a very original idea.
No, yeah. I stole this from St. Elsewhere, where it turned out that everything that happened in St. Elsewhere was in the mind of an autistic boy.
Yes.
And this is me and my friend Harvey. Acknowledging the fact that The Uploaders is stupid, and why would anyone watch it?
Yes, you gotta have the director in it at the end there. That's perfect.
I had to throw myself in, but and my friend who's playing the retard, Jim, he had actually played. Retard is not politically correct.
No, it is not, Jason.
Sorry, but the show is not politically correct.
No.
I'm still going to say retard. But he had played a special needs person in a play he had done, and I went, oh God, if I ever have a need for someone to play a special needs person, I'm asking Jimmy. And this came up, and I said, will you do this?
He is having a fit, too.
Oh, yeah, he loved it. He loved it.
Great.
He was really good. And my looks are totally genuine, as are Harvey's. What did you think when you read the script about how it was all kind of coming to an end?
I was like, all right, sounds good. No, but literally, like, I never know when Jason's going to send me a script what I'm going to be doing that, for that episode. And so this one was the big one at the end, and how am I going to go out? And I kind of loved that I didn't necessarily get blown up or or anything like that. Like, I just personally loved it.
That's true. You're the only one technically who's not dead.
Yeah.
So you could come back in some horrible special needs memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I set up the whole reboot thing, and my whole decision process was that The Uploaders just basically was going to be on this endless cycle of vulgarity. No matter who was playing who, it would just be like you could literally watch the very first episode and this episode and then continue it all over again.
Yeah.
The circle just doesn't stop. And though it was a lot more difficult getting people to play variant versions of the characters at this point.
Well, nobody's going to be as good as me.
This is true. This is absolutely true. And also people who will say what I write. It's like, what? I have to say cunt and twat with a dog puppet? Holy shit. And that jar was still there. That fucking jar that was back at the library that had tea in it. This guy went more full force than even Drew did. He pulled down his pants and put like a fake hard-on, and and I was like, that's not necessary, but I appreciate your dedication.
Sure, okay.
Yeah. And he's gay, which I thought was really funny. So the majority of the men in this scene are gay. Like, he's gay, Eric down there is gay, and Jerry here is gay.
You can tell him.
Yeah.
He kind of saunters in. It's very sweet.
And this also, too, was a throwback to what those two characters were originally supposed to be.
That's
Poppy
right.
and Priscilla, the lesbian sisters, were originally meant to be Preston and Priscilla, a brother-sister couple who loved each other. And we had to change it last minute. So I threw that back in there. And Jim is wearing a shirt that he wore in another movie I put him in. So thanks to that. I thought she summed up Shauna pretty well. Mm-hmm. And another dog puppet. What did you think of Dawn's portrayal of you as Catherine?
She's great. I think I handled the crazy really well.
Yes, you were definitely better at the crazy. Well, and Dawn also didn't want to curse.
She's so much more a lady than me.
Yeah.
Way too raunchy.
And I didn't have anyone to play Carmen, so I just made her the banana that she throws at Steven in the first episode. So that's called working with what you got, which is nothing. Which sums up this show. And that was episode 24.
Dun dun dun.
The end.
The end.
Any regrets?
Not at all. This was so much fun. I loved doing these. I mean, it was, always a day of doing it, and but it was always so great. I always had a great time, and like I said, it was my chance to be crazy and loud and swear stuff. A lot of stuff I don't get a chance to do in my normal life. So I had a lot of fun.
And something to show your daughters when they're older.
They'll be proud. They'll be very proud.